Yo, what's going on everyone, and today we're going to be talking about One Piece chapter 1030, and man, all I gotta say, it was a really good one. Not the best one, not the worst one, and obviously it had some flaws in it. I know everybody's talking about it right now, but we got updates on Nami, Usopp, the aftermath of Kinemon's fight, Big Mom, Kid-in-law's fight, and even we got an update on X-Drake, y'all. Who forgot about him in the story? Because I personally did. But without further ado, let's get into it. First, let's start off with the start of the chapter, which is with X-Drake and Appu. And by the way, let me just say this. Appu is one of the worst names I've ever heard in my entire life, and he needs to change that ASAP. But anyway, we find X-Drake and Appu in the same room together, and they're pretty much talking about building trust with one another, because they're both not trustworthy, let's be honest here. And I feel like once this little alliance, it's gonna fade out. They're both gonna either, one of them is gonna betray one another, probably X-Drake, because he knows Appu would probably do it first, or I wouldn't be surprised if Oda did a little thing where they both try to stab each other in the back at the same time, because at the end of the day, in their own right, they're both kind of snakes, because Appu, he's a snake to Kid, and now he's being a snake to Kaido, and X-Drake is obviously being a snake to Kaido by also being a Fed. So I'm excited to see where this fight goes a little bit, or not this fight, but this little teamwork they got going on. It's going to get kind of interesting. Next, we have Nami and Usopp, and to be completely honest with you, even though I don't love Usopp's character, I do kind of miss him a little bit in the story, he brings some type of funniness to the story. But anyway, we see Nami and Usopp stop for a second, and we see Kinemon's legs walking past. Now, I can't lie, this was funny, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, it threw me off, because it's like, how in the world is Kinemon's legs running around? It doesn't make sense. And to be honest, the explanation for it doesn't make sense either. So why would, that's a question for Oda. Why would you make Law not fully reattaching Kinemon's legs a thing? That doesn't make any sense. But I just chalk it up to, at this point, he's made 1030 chapters. It's One Piece. He's done some weird stuff before. It is what it is. But we see half of Kinemon's body lying on the floor while he's worried about Kiku because she's dying. She's in limbo right now. She pretty much is like 15 minutes away from death. And then I see Kanjuro and Orochi on the page. And Kanjuro's on the brink of death too. Don't get me wrong. Like he is definitely going to die, obviously. But then Orochi's talking to Kanjuro, giving him all these compliments like, oh yeah, you did good, did your mission well, or something like that. He's talking like the Emperor from Star Wars, talking to Anakin like you did well or something like that. Like he's on some weird timing. But this is pretty much all so Orochi can get what he wants. Like he's telling Kanjuro that they will have a last laugh and burn the place down, and that's crazy. So he's using Kanjuro to fuel his own hate. That is crazy. I don't feel bad for Kanjuro, but it's like, dang, bro, that's tough. And I'm not gonna lie to you, Orochi's an amazing manipulator. I gotta give him that. But Kanjuro decides, as his final drawing, he wants to show the suicide pact of the Kurozumi clan, and then all of a sudden there's this big flame monster that is burning everything around it to pieces. And also, speaking of flames, we get a tiny shot of Momonosuke getting used to using the flame clouds a little bit, which I thought was actually pretty cool. But on the next page, we get a slight update as to what CP0 is doing. Brook, Robin, Marco, Izo, and the monster trio, they're all fighting while the whole building is about to be set on fire by Kanjuro's monster. And then we get a shot of Orochi thinking he has everything figured out. He's all cocky, thinking he outsmarted Kaido since he knows about Kaido's massive armory. So his plan is obviously to blow it up with Kanjuro's fire monster so he can just blow up everything and have his way and have Wano to himself. Little does he know, the homie Yamato is ready for this. And you know what I found funny about this page though? The grunts of Kaido called Yamato young master, even though she abandoned them chapters ago and even fought Kaido during that time. But it gives you a little reminder that, oh yeah, not everyone knows that she betrayed Kaido. Or they could be just flat out idiots. Usually the grunts are idiots, but she is heading down to the armory to stop all this from happening, just in case Momonosuke can't stop Onigashima in time. And now she has to do it even more because of obviously Kanjuro's flame monster. But she's interrupted by a big crash, and the person is none other than Big Mom herself. So the page starts off with Kid being injured by Big Mom, which is to be expected, to be honest. No one didn't think that was going to happen. But we do get a tiny flashback to where Kid is asking Law, did he awaken his ability yet? And Law says he's not used to it yet, but he would only use it if he was near death, meaning he has some type of control over it. He knows something about it. And Kid also has the same problem with his awakening. And this leads me to believe that Luffy might get his awakening versus Kaido, and that might be the way he defeats him with his new Gum Gum Fruit awakening. But we see Law say Kroom, and at first I thought this was a typo. I was like, okay, what are we doing here? We gotta look up. This is probably because it's a scan or whatever. But I saw Law put the room on his sword, and I was like, oh snap. And he stabbed Big Mom right through her neck area. I guess neck area, her little neck fat, and it actually hurt her. I was shocked because I didn't think nothing could pierce her skin. Then we see the full power of Kroom, and then all of a sudden the power shockwave, and she just starts bleeding. That completely shocked me. Lost Todo show right there. And then we get something from Kid, which if you watch the other video, I was bashing Kid the whole time. I'm sorry, he was pissing me off. This chapter he went off a little bit. He did his thing. Then he was like over there he said tag me in. So then he uses his fruit. And he uses Big Mom as a giant magnet to attract all the steel stuff towards her. And then Kid's giant move, his punk crash, crashes all the metal onto Big Mom. And this made me happy because even though Law had the better moment making Big Mom bleed and all that, Kid still showed out. He still shows some promise. So I gotta give Oda big props for giving my boy Kid a chance. And I know Big Mom isn't defeated, but I'm glad both of them got their moment, and especially Kid, because he really needed it. Anyways, guys, comment down below what you would rate the chapter personally, because I would give it a 7.5 or 8 out of 10, in my opinion. It's only that rating because of the Kingdom Hearts moment. I wasn't a big fan of it personally, but leave your guys' opinions down in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all next time.